team. I'm Fitz Koehler, one of your race announcers for the Hogue OC Marathon Weekend, and welcome to our show. We have so much to go over tonight. Our big race weekend is coming up. We've got 2 weekends. We're 2 weekends away, and it's so exciting. It's one of the biggest weekends of the year for all 3 of us on the show, and not only is it an epic athletic adventure weekend, but we see so many people we love and care about. It feels like a family reunion every single year. So as you're watching, if you have questions or comments, please use the comment section wherever you are, and we will answer them as we can. I'm going to steer this show in the order of our weekend. So we're starting off at the expo on Friday. If you got a question about the marathon, you may want to hold it until we get to talking about the marathon, and same goes for the Hogue, Kids Run the OC, etc. So those are the rules. I want to start out by asking you guys to say hello, and I'm going to bring in. I'm starting with the other half of Team Noisy, the man who's actually been announcing this race for 20 years, which is exactly twice as long as I've been doing it, Mr. Rudy Novotny. Hello there.
Hello. How you doing, Fitz?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, 20th anniversary. Is that cool or what? And your 10th anniversary and a celebration of your first numero uno race announcing gig.
Yeah. Well, every single year I go back there, I feel grateful. I feel like, how fortunate am I that not only you recommended me, but our race director gave me a chance and has bestowed this beautiful career on me. So thank you to you. And thank you to the man behind it all, our race director, Mr. Gary Kutscher. Hello.
Well, hi, Fitz. Hey, Rudy. Good to see you guys again.
Gary.
Are you ready? Nothing between now and the OC Marathon, right? You guys are focused solely on OC Marathon weekend, right?
Almost.
There's one.
What is it? What is that? Is that a little corporate run? What is that race?
What is that, Rudy? Where will we be this week?
Big Sur Marathon.
Big Sur.
Yeah.
And then you gotta, after the hoopla of Big Sur, then you're gonna come down and chill out at the OC.
You know what? It's the beach party. We are, no matter what we do, we're always OC, and it feels like a family reunion. Do you get that vibe too, Gary? I know it's your race, but it feels special.
Well, when I see people that I don't see for a year, absolutely. It's exciting. I mean, we just had a little run last week out of a local pub here in Huntington Beach, and we had so many people come out for that. And yes, even those things, it's just great to see people. We don't see them very often. So to see someone that we haven't seen for a year, it's absolutely a family reunion.
Absolutely. And so this being our 20th anniversary, what does that mean to you?
For me, this is my 15th year kind of doing this role. I came in late 05. We had held our very first race in 04, and I was kind of asked to be a part of that then with a good buddy of mine, Scott, and he was kind of the starter of this whole thing. And but I had a brand new son, and I was a stay-at-home dad. And so with this stay-at-home dad thing, I'm like, I can't take on anymore. But I came on the board of the OC Marathon in late December of 05. We held our next race in January 06, and I've been semi-involved from then, but really taking over in 09. And so what this means to me is, it changed my life. I know that the OC marathons as a whole, at Big Sur this coming weekend, there's gonna be so many people who are going to have that life-changing moment. They've whatever they've overcome or whatever. That's kind of like for me as well. I mean, I was a runner, but to kind of come into this role and to recognize just how well the relationships you develop, the people you see, the people who come across the finish line. Fitz, there's no one better that go out there and hug people and you see them. It's just incredible. Your own story. So to me, it was life-changing for me. I can't thank Scott enough for getting me involved into it, and to come out and see people every year, and now for the 20th year for the OC, it's as special as it gets.
Yeah, it's incredible. And then Rudy, you were here year one. What did it look like then, and what does it look like now?
Well, you know, it had a really good start. I don't know the number, but you know, I think we had a couple thousand people, or maybe a little short of that. So it was really well attended. There was a lot of excitement in the running community to have a race in OC like this, and there was a lot of club activity. It was everybody was really excited. It was a really, you know, it was really a very, very fine event from the get-go. But oh my goodness, we have grown so much. I think the expo, the bib pickup and expo was at a school, and I think it was like a room. one room, and you know, and it served very well. And now, I mean, oh my gosh, now, you know, we could go on and on. Probably the largest expo we do.
It's funny, I was actually just thinking that too.
Yeah, largest expo.
Folks, if you don't know this, Rudy and I announce tons of incredible running events around the country every year, and we know the difference. Your expo is 2 to 3 times bigger than most, Gary. It's impressive, and that's probably one of the hardest things you do, right?
Well, listen, I'm so fortunate I have a great team that does that. I see the registrations coming in for the expo, but that's really, I get to kind of just see what's happening. But yes, we do. We really put a lot of focus on our expo, and that brings me to one of our sponsors for this year. So a Snail's Pace, specialty running store. They have 4 stores here in Southern California. They've taken over our running store inside the expo. So people are going to come into the expo. They're going to have a number of specialty running vendors within their space. They also have taken over all of our official merchandise. So this partnership that we have with the Snail's Pace, you're going to be able to go in there, pick out a jacket, a shirt, pair of shoes from our sponsor of our shoes, official shoe company. And so, yeah, that's really, really exciting for our expo. People are going to see that for the very first time. So it's really exciting. And then we have about another 60 vendors. Wow. So it's, you know, for a little race like ours, we have a pretty good size expo.
Not a little race. Not a little race at all. Okay.
Really?
So I'm going to steer this ship so we get to all the questions and answers we need to. Folks out there in internet land, please use the comments section to let us know if you've run the OC before, and if so, what have you run? And then also let us know what you're going to be running this year. What's up, Rudy?
Hey, Fitz, before you steer the ship, can you make our screen bigger? I am having a hard time seeing comments and no? Okay.
Rudy, you can make your screen bigger. So just, yeah, you just at the bottom of your little blue screen, there's
Fitz, can you make me look younger? Fitz, can you make me look taller?
Well, I definitely would like to look younger. Yes, thank you.
There's a cursor. If you move your cursor over the blue screen.
I'm there. I've got it.
All right. I have to now fly to California, everybody. Please put yourself on pause while I adjust the computer screen.
Hey, wait a minute. You've been my tech guy for a long time.
I'm the tech guy. That's right. I'm happy to do it. So, okay. So let's start at the start. The start of the weekend for the the general population, Gary, is Friday, correct?
It's Friday. So Friday, we our week starts much earlier than that. Just like you just mentioned, Big Sur is already putting together their festival. We start earlier in the week, but yeah, our Friday starts our expo. 4 p.m. on Friday as our expo begins. I'm somebody who has made it start later in the day. Every single time we have I go to an expo, they could be an 8-hour long expo. People are lined up at the very, very beginning, and then there's no one there for a few hours. So we have a real hard time getting vendors, volunteers there. So what we've done is we went ahead and moved our expo to 4 p.m. People still get there and stay open until 8 o'clock, which really helps those people who work during the day to get out there on Friday. So 4 till 8 on Friday, and then we start the next day on Saturday with the expo, and then a little bit of other stuff.
All right, I'm going to pause to give a big shout out to Miguel Sanchez, who's running his very first marathon, and he's aiming sub 4, which is outstanding. And so that's exciting. Thanks for choosing the Hogue OC Marathon, Miguel. We know.
Yeah, Miguel, any way you cut it, you're going to get a personal record. So why don't you just modify your goal to finishing? And if you hit it in sub 4 hours, that's that much better.
Oh, I say, let's go, Miguel. Go.
Yeah, Miguel.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Look at this.
Jake is using this first marathon as a training run, right? Preparation for Ironman September. Are there gels provided? We'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get back to that.
And
Answer's yes.
Yes. Okay. So expo, and let's talk to the lowest common denominator, somebody who's never run any race before. The expo is where you come to pick up your race bib. That's your number. You will get your race shirt at that time. You'll get your medal only once you cross the finish line, but you get the bib and the shirt. Is there anything else they need to pick up? And do they need driver's license to pick up their own bibs? And can they get a friend's bib? And if so, what do they need to be able to pick it up?
Wow, there was a lot there.
Yes.
Yeah, really.
Wow.
Anyway, she's done this
before.
Yes,
and we've gotten a lot of questions from people this year who I think we have a lot of first timers like Miguel, which is just awesome. So yeah, the expo is it's where you go get your bib for the first time. It's where your weekend starts. You get to start experiencing the whole thing. And that's the excitement part of that. When I would travel to races, I never wanted to have something shipped to me, my bib or something. I wanted to experience the expo, see what vendors are there, and enjoy the excitement of the expo. So yes, you're going to go there. There's a little bit of housekeeping. You get your bib, you get your event shirt, you get your pins. We have some informational sheets there so you can see where you're going to pick up the buses and things. But that's just the part where you get the stuff for you that's required for the race. But then you go out into the main expo and really get to enjoy interacting with a lot of different vendors. That's where you can get, it was asked about the gels. We're going to have honey stingers on the back half of the marathon. Ooh. But on the front half and back half, we have Char Gel, which is the gel drink. It's an acquired experience the very first time, and people love it. It's great for you. So we have Char Gel on the front and the back. But really just getting to the expo and enjoying all that's going on there, listening to Fitz and Rudy banter back and forth, come on, it's good stuff. And I think there's just a lot of fun. Our Jumbotron will be out in front. On that, we'll be playing a flyover video, as well as different videos from all of our different sponsors. There's just a lot going on. So get there and enjoy it.
And then to pick up their bib, do they need driver's license, and can they pick up their bib for others?
Yeah, they should have their own ID. And if they're picking up somebody else's, they just need to have a photograph of their driver's license or a copy of it. There used to be the whole waiver thing, but now our online waiver suffices on that. So you don't have to worry about having a signed waiver from someone else. Just a copy of the driver's license you can pick up for somebody else.
Hey, Gary, are people allowed to change distances? Can a marathoner go down to the half, or can a half upgrade to a marathon, or any other changes like that at all?
That is available right now on our website. If you went to our website, the very top, there's a thing that says weekend quick links. You can check on that. That is available in event transfers right now. I'm afraid that so we've been talking about a sellout for a little while here. I think the 5K is going to sell out by the time the weekend's over, maybe even before the weekend. We've only got a couple hundred, maybe 300 spots left, and the 5K always goes last. It really ramps up at the end. And then our half marathon, I think, is going to be selling out before we get to the expo. I'm not really sure when it's going to. And so only if we have spots available. I don't think we're going to sell out of the full. I ended up having to order 500 more medals not too long ago. And so I think we're going to be fine in the full marathon. But that's exciting. Most of these marathons that you guys have been going to and that we're part of, not Big Sur, for example, but the marathon has kind of become this smaller race. The
Right.
half marathon has just blown up. And our marathon this year will have in the neighborhood of 1,000 to 1,200 more runners than we've ever had.
Wow.
So it's
great.
just crazy. So, but yeah, so to answer your question, and it's been a long answer, but yes, they can, only if there's spots available.
Okay. Okay. And then this is actually Joanne. Joanne had to switch to the virtual for her longer distance. Should she do the 5K? I'm going to answer this. Yes, show up and do something in person, Joanne. What are you thinking? Just register immediately and we have hugs to give. So if anybody else has the same question, obviously you should register. And the 5K is absolutely something you should do. If you're coming in from out of town and you're bringing a family member or a friend to support you, doing a 5K is kind of like walking through the mall for an hour, and you can walk the whole way. Easy peasy. We have a walking division, so everybody should be a part of the 5K. That should sell out tonight. Okay. At least that's my opinion. That's my opinion.
It's a good opinion, Fitz.
Okay, so the expo, lots of fun, lots of vendors. You've got food, you've got things for safety. You've got all sorts of health and wellness products and vendors. Is there anything you're really excited about? Anything different this year?
Well, I mean, in the expo, it's always fun just to see people. I don't know if I have anything in particular that I'm excited about. We have our new title sponsor. Hogue will be there as well with some fun activations in there. I think we're going to do some photo ops in there, which can be kind of fun. Again, I mentioned Snail's Pace already. Those are a couple of new things that we have. I just touched on it. We have Hogue Hospital, a great local hospital, regional hospital here in Southern California. They became our title sponsor last year. Unbelievable partner for what we're doing. They are really just the best here. Their main facility is in Newport Beach, say no more. They have facilities all around Orange County, and you know, I was in a conversation with their CFO, and you know, I was talking about the life-changing things that occur in the marathon, and he said, Gary, people come to Hogue every day with life-changing events, and so it doesn't align any better than that. From a birth to a you know, someone who's saved with their cancer diagnosis, and everything in between. So yeah, Hogue is a great partner for us.
Hey, and a big shout out to U.S. Bank back to be the sponsor of the 5K as well, though.
Yeah, U.S. Bank came back in, so they're the title sponsor for the 5K, and then they also became the official banking partner. So all along, if you would have used your U.S. Bank credit card to register for the race, you would have saved $15 right there.
Wow.
So it's kind of neat. So yeah,
That's significant. It's funny. This is a 2017 jacket. It's a U.S. Bank OC Marathon.
it was over here. I'm always messed up, but yeah. So we have the brand new 20th anniversary with Hogue on the sleeve, so it's all good.
And I love the Hogue logo, the gray. It's so good. It's so simple.
Yeah, it's
so good.
Now, Gary, is Hogue providing our medical needs?
No, we have our regular medical plan that we've had for years, which includes a number of different partners that play into that. We go through 4 cities. It's really difficult to go through 4 cities with regards to anybody who needs to go to a hospital. There's certain rules there and everything else, and
Gotcha.
we will incorporate them where we can. But with them coming in, when they came in, we had our medical plan that we know is tried and true. We want to go ahead and do that. And we'll certainly incorporate Hogue where possible.
So congratulations, Fitz Koehler. She badgered. We just got another 5K'er in there. She just
That's why I took that question. I knew the answer. Joanne says, should I register for the 5K?
Absolutely.
Of course you should. And
Gary heard the bell ring. That's another
Mhm.
registration in
Yeah.
the office.
And Joanne, I'd be happy to escort you through your finish line again. And I do have several extra start line hugs available as well if you want to stop by.
You're not sold out on hugs?
Not sold out on hugs. In fact,
Okay.
I'm gonna earmark one for everybody watching this show. So
Okay.
I'm packing my bags. All the hugs from all the TSA is gonna say, "What's in your bag, lady?" And I'm gonna say,
Nothing but hugs.
I got hugs. That's right. Pat me down. Don't take hugs. Okay. So and I want to jump into race day Saturday too. Folks, do me a favor, use the comment section. Tell us what races you're running this weekend and what you're most excited about.
This weekend, or that you mean?
I'm sorry. At the Hogue OC Marathon weekend. Yes.
Just checking.
Yes. Not this weekend. Race weekend. We're a little ahead this week to give you all plenty of time to get the information, absorb it, and so forth. So OC weekend. Gary, it's the 20th anniversary. What kind of special things do you have for the 20th anniversary?
Well, we have more course support out there. Obviously, it is Cinco de Mayo. We expect all kinds of fun from that. We're gonna, there'll be some fireworks at the start line. We'll have some other fun things that are going to happen. And I think I think the excitement is going to be coming from everybody. It's the 20th anniversary. So I'm excited to see all the happiness and yelling and screaming from you guys at the start line to get them off there. But I mean, we have a great band on Saturday that's going to be playing. We have Flashback Heart Attack again on Sunday. We did have somebody else planned as well, and it didn't work out like we wanted. So we're still trying to see if there's something else. But no, I think people are going to see that it's going to be a great, fun weekend.
That's fantastic. Look at this. Look how pretty Christina is. We've got apparently one of the most beautiful girls on earth running the combo
Oh my
crash.
goodness, she is beautiful.
Right?
Hey, Gary, I just want to make sure, though, because it is Cinco de Mayo, I just want to double check. There was a rumor that there's going to be a tequila shot station for those 21 and over. That's not true, right?
I don't think so.
Gary?
We do have our two amigos that run every year that I'm sure you've seen.
That's right.
And they do carry their own tequila with them. So you see those guys out there, you can have a shot with them.
Oh, man.
Oh, okay. And folks, no, you should be looking for two awesome guys, and they'll wear flamboyant little running shorts with like peppers or cactuses on them.
Right, the hot peppers.
And they'll have sombreros and inflatable cactus and Jose Cuervo and apparently alcohol. So if
the holsters,
yeah.
You think tequila is right for you at the start of your marathon or wherever you are,
I cannot imagine.
cook. Okay. All right. So lots of fun 20th anniversary. I'm very excited. Again, 20th anniversary for Rudy. Yay. Okay.
What Rudy didn't mention when he was talking about that very first year, and I'll refresh his memory, had to be the coldest day in Orange County history. It was pouring down rain. It was brutal. The fact that we still have 25 people that we call legends is just incredible. The fact that anybody came back after that first year, it was pretty amazing. And so, it was cold, wet. We had bus issues, and I think everyone who came back after that, it was a tough first year start. A lot of people. I think there was maybe more like 3,500, 4,000 people all together.
Right.
But it was a brutal first year.
Well, I see. It's a blur to me because between the cold and the constant rain and the wind, the wind was whipping that day. I mean, I was in therapy for a week after that. But let me just mention something about that on a serious note. It's some of those unplanned things that happen and challenges that make things it just makes them even that much more memorable. And it's a challenge that you stood up to and that you accepted and you overcame. and that's why I agree with you. I think it's amazing that we have that many legends, coming back year after year. But there was a lot of people came back, and I think there was even a shirt. I survived the inaugural OC marathon.
No, it was a tough
Awesome.
one. And then, speaking of that, you remember just a few years ago when we had rain and hail at the start line in May in Newport Beach, hail. We had put a makeshift tent on top of the announcer platform.
Because I asked for it. Thank
and
God.
We were having to push the water off of the top.
Oh, that's right. It was.
So I have video from that, which is hilarious. My favorite part of that is when I sarcastically told everybody, go hide in the porta potties. And they did.
They did.
Thousands of people disappeared into your 1,000 porta potties. It was amazing.
Oh, no, they were 2 to 3 at a time in those things.
Yes, they were. They were.
Like 7 minutes of heaven, but different, very different. Hey, you know what? I bet there's some sort of porta potty romance story we just haven't heard yet.
Really, there's a couple out there somewhere that met at the porta potties.
Please let us know. Okay, so let's go down to Saturday, and let's talk about racing. Saturday morning, we start the Hogue Kids Run the OC.
Absolute chaos. We'll have 6,000 kids running in the Kids Run the OC. The Hogue Kids Run the OC. They're from 117, 120 schools in Orange County. They've been training, practicing, enjoying their activities in their schools for the last 10 weeks. And they're going to come out there. And we have 8 separate heats that you guys will announce. We'll have a few national anthem singers. And it is one of the most exciting days. I don't care if it's New York Marathon, London Marathon, until you've seen the Kids Run the OC with 6,000 kids and 12, 13, 14,000 moms, dads, grandmas, and grandpas out there. You just haven't seen it.
It's extraordinary, Gary. And your race morning over triples the participation of all of my other races with kid races put together. You've done such a phenomenal job promoting health and fitness and running to the kids in your community. You should be very proud of that.
Well, you mentioned 120 schools. There's so much school pride that day. There's so many custom shirts that they make. And when Fitz and I give a shout out to the school, it's like, rah!
Dolphins and gators and Mustangs.
It really is. It's a really special day. And you know what? We're back up to 6,000 kids. Just
whoop.
Yeah, okay, poor Gary gets stuck in that position.
It really is. I hope his neck's okay.
What? Did something happen?
You froze.
Okay, am I back?
You're back. Better than ever.
Anyway, so we have 6,000 this year. We had 9,000 back in 2019 and 165 schools. And this is still I think, a rebuilding that's taking place after COVID. We have teachers who moved on. We have parents whose kids graduated from the schools and they no longer are kind of being the champion at that school for that program. So we're still building that back. So I think by next year, the year after, we'll get that back up into the 8,500, 9,000 range. But listen, 6,000 kids is incredible. And we were honored to be the Roadrunners Club of America Youth Program of the Year this year. So that's exciting as well.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So parents, there's a very distinct schedule on the ocmarathon.com website. We normally start with a mixed age group, I believe, and then we start with the oldest kids, and then it's every 30 minutes. We go one year younger, 1 year younger. We would like to preserve that. Only 7-year-olds in this group, only 8-year-olds in this group. The kids run without moms and dads. They run with coaches. Except, do we let the little guys run with their parents? Is that correct?
We don't encourage it, but yeah, so the kindergartners, the 5-year-olds can have their parents out there. And then this is a question that's asked of us a lot is, I'm in town for the race. Can my child run the race? Unfortunately, this is a program that's in these schools. We don't have any open registrations whatsoever. So all 6,000 of these kids are part of a program that's been taking place for the last 10 weeks. And yes, so we don't have any opportunities for someone just to jump in. We've gone through all of the rules. Just this past weekend, we had 120 coaches. They could be principals, teachers, parents, come to one facility. We did an event day training and gave all of them their bibs. And so we told them what to expect out there. So yeah, unfortunately, we can't let the general public just jump into this thing. But if anybody has a child here in Orange County and their kid is not in it this year because it's not at that school, contact us. We'll make sure we get it there next year for your school.
Love that. Love that. And folks, it's a lot of fun when you get there. He says chaos. It's organized chaos. You'll be able
Thank
to
you, Fitz. Thank
when,
you.
when your child is ready to line up, and then we'll get them all corralled. We'll make it special for each age group of children. We'll send them off, and then once they come back to the finish line, everybody celebrates everybody's child, so they all get the big hooplas and hooray. And then in order to retrieve your child, you have to have the other side of their bib. So if not, you can't have your kid, and I will probably take adorable children back to Florida with me. So prepare by getting that bib in advance. And then you are entitled to make a big stink out of them for the rest of the day. They get a medal, they get milk and bananas, all sorts of loveliness, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there's a great festival area. There's so much going on right outside the expo area. There's a huge festival. There's all kinds of activities. It's so well done. Thanks for correcting Gary's misuse of the word chaos.
It is orchestrated chaos. Absolutely.
It is so well organized. It really is. That's the truth.
Yeah, and if you come out, spend a few hours. Not only do the kids run the OC, but the festival, and then go inside and do the expo too, because there's something for all ages. So let's jump up to the Saturday evening 5K.
It is starting at 5:30 p.m. It's one of the largest 5Ks on the West Coast, especially at sunset. This race starts at 5:30. It's going to be ending right as the sun's starting to set. We'll have 4,500 runners in that, so it's a good size 5K. I mentioned a little bit earlier, we have a band called Robert John and the Wreck on the stage starting about 4:30. They're filling up venues.
Wait a minute. You didn't tell us that.
Yeah. They're great.
They are an epic band.
Yeah, Robert John and the Wreck. They're so good. And they'll be playing 2 sets, one before the 5K, one after the 5K. Prior to that, I've got a good band called Lousy Little Gods. They're an awesome little band. And then prior to that, even, I'm going backwards, Sabrina Lentini is a country and western artist, was on American Idol. And so she's coming on at 2:30 or 3, and then one right after another, and then Robert John and the Wreck. So
Okay, hold on. I'm renaming this whole thing. This is the Hogue OC Concert Festival with a 5K thrown in. That's amazing. I mean, that's so much talent. Robert John and the Wreck. I did not know that. I should, but I didn't know that. They're amazing.
They're selling out arenas in Europe.
Right.
I mean, they're really killing it in Europe. They're doing, 1,500, 2,000 person venues here in the States, all across the country. And they're here local. So we have them. We're excited.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
That's a big deal.
So on the actual race part, folks, if you were doing the 5K, 5K start time is 5:30, yes?
5:30.
Okay. You're going to have to get your bib and your shirt in advance. come by 3 or 3:30. Don't park your car at 5 o'clock to run. This thing is bigger than that. This is not a local yokel 5K. You need to get to the fairgrounds and then have time to come in, get your bib and your shirt, and maybe put the shirt you're not wearing back in your car. Lots of people wear the race shirt on race day, which is totally cool here. And yeah, and then of course you want to peruse the expo. The expo will probably be closing the second you cross the finish line. So show up at 3 or 3:30, make an evening of it. And we will line you up about 5 or 5:10. We get started about 5-ish. So the reason you're showing up is because you want to be a part of us. I think it's an event, an experience. So if you just park your car at 5, you're going to miss out a lot of stuff. And we have a heck of a lot of fun pre-race.
Absolutely. In fact, I'm going to give a stage to you guys this year at the start line. Do you remember that? Oh. Remember last year you were on a tractor?
Oh,
yeah.
So nice.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, we have our own sound system, Gary.
Yeah, your own sound system and everything. So,
wow.
Yeah, in fact.
Almost like professional race announcers.
Almost like a professional race. Yeah, no, we're going to have. So last year, for those of you who weren't there, I blew it. I didn't have a stage for the start line for the 5K, thinking that it was close enough to the main stage, and it really didn't allow Fitz to get down there and interact with the runners like she likes to do. So we put her up on a tractor, and it worked just fine. Perfect. And this year we've moved the start line just a little bit further down, but we'll be linking your sound, your own personal sound, into our main stage as well. So there'll be a lot better. And it starts in front of the main stage. It ends in front of the main stage. And then so our medal is all about the stage.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow. So that's really cool.
The stage cool. Lights and it's like a little guitar and all kinds of cool stuff. So anyway, kind of neat.
Now, Gary, with 4,500, I'm thinking how many waves?
We'll probably have 3 waves plus the walkers.
Walkers. Okay.
And is there any? How many water stations, porta potties out on the course?
On the 5K, there's just one water station out there. It's just 3 miles. But there's bathrooms on the site once you're back on site as well. So we'll take care of you there.
Okay. And then the big party after. So plan to come early and then stay late. It's an actual event. It's celebrate the OC and they mean it. So
everyone gets a free beer. Michelob Ultra is our partner with that. So everyone will get a free beer that night if you want. We also have Monster Tour Water. I don't know if you've heard of Monster Tour Water. It is, everyone knows Monster the drink. This is something that they started making years ago. All the big tours that they were part of, they started making water. Why can't the people on stage also have their Monster that's just pure, good, fresh, nothing but fresh water? And their cans, they're safe for the environment type thing, no more plastic. And so Monster Tour Water will be at the finish line of the 5K as well as the finish line of the marathon and half marathon.
Very cool. Right. Good job, Gary. That's great. Always extra interesting partners. Oh my goodness. Okay. So 5K's over. Everybody goes, hurry back to your home or your hotel to get some sleep because we have to wake up early. Sunday, the big day. All right. So let's start with the busing, the transportation. Our start line is at Fashion Island in Newport Beach. So how do people get there?
You can get there one of 3 or 4 ways. You could ride share there if you wanted to. We have a number of hotels right there near the start as well. But the vast majority of the people will go to the finish line, park their car there, jump in one of the 75 school buses that will be there waiting for you starting at 4 a.m. And they're going to be shuttling you all the way back down to the start line. And so that's probably the easiest thing to do. I just had a meeting last week. There's so many school buses there that the wait is a couple minutes to get onto a bus. It's really quick. We will be shuttling people for the marathon. They just continue for the half marathon after that. We do have a slight change this year. The half marathon will be beginning at 6:30 instead of 6:15. It gives us that extra 15 minutes of additional shuttles to get there. And so that's just one of the things that we've done this year to try to help the ease of getting so many people to the start line.
So when folks park their car at the finish line, which is the Costa Mesa Fairgrounds, they park there. When is the absolute last shuttle you believe will be leaving there to head to the start line? When do people need to have their butts in seats?
Well, I'd like people to be there. If you're a marathon runner, get there at 4 o'clock, 4:15. Get on those early buses. We will include in their packet what shuttle we recommend for them to be on.
Okay.
We've done that so that we don't just have everyone showing up at 5 o'clock for a 5:30 marathon start, and
Right.
likewise 6 o'clock for a 6:30. You won't get there. If that's what happens, you're not going to get there. Get there early. We've got 125 bathrooms at the start line. It's typically great weather. I don't expect there to be, just a real warm or real cold, knock on wood. We've only had hail one year, so I don't expect that to happen again. That was a 100-year storm, so we shouldn't have it again until our 120th. It's there's a lot of action down there at the start line. So get there, enjoy it, visit with other people. Fitz, I think you talked about meeting people to start line and just how much fun you have meeting people before you run. So get there, enjoy it, take in the day.
Yeah. And don't, this is not the day to set the alarm at the very last minute. Just suck it up and set it early like we all have to. And then you won't be that person, because at races all around the country, we have, folks like you setting up these very sophisticated busing shuttle systems to get people where they need to be. And they push the boundaries, and then they hit traffic, or they do this. And then all of a sudden it's, I didn't start on time. And it's your fault, Gary Kutscher. And no, folks, be personally accountable. Just wake up early, and then you can have a nap later. But it's worth
it. We'll hear. I had no idea there was going to be that much traffic. Come on.
Yeah, right.
A lot of traffic.
Let's warn them now. There will be traffic. Just get there.
Traffic. There'll be roads closed. There'll be, but again, the buses, if you get to the finish line, it's pretty mellow there. Obviously, there's going to be 7,000 cars going in there in a short period of time, but maybe 6,000 cars. But you'll get on those buses. You come to the start line, no stress whatsoever. You get off the bus. You just walk towards the start line. You can see it as soon as you get there. It'll be lit up. It'll be pretty. It'll be good.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. It really is a very special start line. As we've been talking, I've been thinking about the little, like the purple glow off of the start line and all the tall palm trees. It's very Orange County. Okay. So we've got buses taken care of. Our marathon starts at 5:30. What do people need to know about the marathon?
Well, the marathon will start at 5:30. We're going to have a few waves in that as well.
Are they assigned?
Pardon me?
Are they assigned? Will people know on their bib which?
Yeah, they'll get just A and B on that. We'll put some. We'll have signs out there, and we'll divide them up. If someone wants to run really, really fast, they know to get to the front. Most people are pretty good in the marathon about self-regulating where they need to be. And so, yes, we'll let those go pretty quick. At 6:30, I think we have 7 individual corrals, 7 or 8 corrals that you'll start. Those 2 will also have a letter on them for your corral. The corral signs will also say your pace. I plan on running a 10:30 pace. I plan on running a 16-minute pace. It will have that on there. And so then, yes, those will go one at a time. Fitz, because we have a 6:30 start now, that means you're going to have more of those waves to yourself, because Rudy and I are going to have to get out of there after wave 2. What do you think?
I love me some start lines, as you know.
I love when Fitz is happy, I'm happy. There we go.
Good answer. I do love the start lines.
Oh yeah. So a number of years ago, Fitz did not want to leave with me to take you to the finish line, and I was fighting with her. I only one time got in an argument with Fitz. One time, and it was, Fitz, we have to go now. There's going to be finishers coming in. Do you remember this?
I do. So the preface, it's the weird COVID year. We did it in November. Rudy was hosting something else. We had to divide and conquer. And
Rudy was there. He didn't miss a year. He was there on Saturday. He was there. So he was there, but Sunday morning.
He was not there. And so you got a different backup person for me. And the game was, I think you thought I was going to let half of the half marathoners go and then not the other, but I knew we can make it back to the finish line on time. And I love them so much. And so folks, Gary's like, we got to go. I'm like, no, we're fine. We got to go. I was like, Gary, look at them. I can't leave them. And so he tolerates me. And of course you're my boss. I'm like, no, I'm not leaving these people.
Listen, and then, I don't know.
Maybe I'm the boss. You'll go for the last corral, and the second I do, I feel these arms come underneath me. Gary literally lifts me up and
trying to go.
Takes me off. It was hilarious. It was super fun. Why don't we have that on video either? We're missing all the good stuff.
I know, we really are.
Okay, so no start line people. That I love you so much, and we have so much fun. And if you're smart, you will move to a back corral because we have even more fun as the corrals go on. So just pretend you're a slow person, even if you're not, or a walker or whatever, move to the back. The back is the best. Okay. There's bag check. We have UPS trucks, correct?
Yeah. Everyone will get a clear bag at the expo when they get their shirt and their bib. For anybody who happened to pay to have their bib shipped to them, this is an option available for those who aren't going to make it there in time because of their travel or something. So we have this option to have your bib shipped to you. If anybody's watching right now, UPS will have those bags there at their trucks as well. So you can come there and still get a bag there in place. I mean, at the start line. But yeah, we have UPS there. We have UPS. Then what happens for those of you who are brand new, they take your belongings. Don't put cell phones in there. Don't put the one set of car keys you have in there. But anyway, they'll take those to the finish line. Once you finish your race, you'll see the 6 or 7 UPS trucks sitting there, and you just go right over there again. Present your bib only, because what you've done is you've torn off the top of your bib, and that's got the same matching number on it. That will go on your bag. You'll go over there, and they're so quick about getting the bag right back to you, and then you get to enjoy the rest of your day. We talked about the continuation. The marathon starts, a half marathon continues. Everyone's going to get there and have the best finish line festival, bar none, at the OC Marathon.
Yeah, we do have the best time. Going back to the bag check, folks, this is a place for you to put dry clothes, maybe a towel, and some sandals. So things that make you comfortable once you're done racing, you can change into whatever you got. And then on the we have porta potties at the start line. Do we have water at the start line?
We do not have water at the start line. So, but there will be water at mile 2. That'll be the first water station. And so it's so hard that we've been asked to do that before. With that many people coming from all directions, it's just almost impossible to find a location where people can go get a water. And then I would be concerned there'd be all these bottles of water there that people would drop, and they would be at the people's feet. So no, we don't have any water at the start line. If you want to bring your own water, get out of your car, get out of the bus with your water. There'll be trash cans there for you. But your first water on course will be at mile 2, and every water station about every mile and a half after that. It's mile 2, then mile 4, and then that kind of gets into that mile and a half each one. Each one will have bathrooms at every single water station as well. That has been asked a lot this year. So there'll be a lot of bathrooms on course also.
Hey, Gary, look who's there. Joe Terracani. Hey, Joe, we can't wait to see you, buddy.
Can't wait to see you.
Hey, Gary, I just want to clarify because I got a little confused. Is there day of race bib pickup?
There is not day of race bib pickup unless arrangements were made and fees paid. And there are a couple exemptions for that, but certainly not for the general public.
Great. Okay. Thanks.
I'm going to jump back. Ryan's got a question. There is not gear check for the 5K. You got to leave your stuff in your trunk, correct?
Yes.
Right. Okay. And then we had one other question. Can you drive your own car to the start? Can they park at Fashion Island?
Absolutely. I said there were a few ways and I got off track, but yes, some people will take ride shares. Most people will take the bus. Some people will be dropped off by a loved one, and that person can then go to the finish and wait for them. So there'll be a lot of runner drop off as well. And then, yes, the last option is drive your own car to the start line. We have a number of lots that are earmarked specifically for people to drop their car off. And then you run your race. The same location where buses are picking up people is right in front of the farm entrance by the amphitheater there at the fairgrounds. That's where you go get on one of the school buses. Those school buses, they only go to one place. They take you right back to the start line. So you would go back to the start line in those buses and you go back to your car. There will be a few other buses there for a hotel or for Roadrunners Club of America or some other things like that. But yes, the school buses will be what will take you right back to the start line.
Okay. All right. Perfect. On the course, we have water, and then do we have an electrolyte beverage?
We do Gatorade. We have Gatorade at about every other water station.
And what flavor is that, Gary?
I think it's endurance, and I think it's the berry. I don't know that right now. I should know that, and I don't.
Okay. Well, here's something you should know, and I want everybody to know that it is a moral obligation. In fact,
here we go.
You have a sip of Gatorade. You have to say, "Go Gators!"
Go Gators.
Every single time you have a sip. Gatorade was created for the Florida Gators, and it's just a rule. If we're going to share a beverage with you, you have to cheer us on.
And I will say one more thing about a little bit of housekeeping, and go Gators. But one thing that we want people to also do: remember to try to hit those garbage cans on the course. Once someone has taken their Gatorade or their water, try to go ahead and put it in the garbage cans. Last year, we had a lot of people who they had their own gel or they had their char gel, and they were dropping these things on the course, all over the course. And this is beautiful Orange County. We want people to go ahead and either carry it with you till you see the next water station. But it's such an important part of keeping the course clean. There's a lot of volunteers out there. Make sure you thank them for what they're doing. But listen, if you can throw those things in a garbage can, they don't have to bend over and pick them up.
Well, Gary, it's also us keeping good with the running community going through 4 cities here. We want, the cooperation has been absolutely fabulous. The mayors love the event and have been very, very supportive. It's things like that, it's trashing and things like that very often create problems for permitting and the relationship with the cities that we're operating in too. So that's really important. Pack it in, pack it out. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Now, Gary, how about gels and energy on course, if you would?
Yeah,
please?
we mentioned that. I'm going to have char gel out there on the first half and the second half. Char gel will also be in the expo. If you haven't tried it before, you can grab one.
That's what I was going to, because it's got more body to it. Was that
like
fair?
Applesaucey to me.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I love it. I mean,
I like
the first
it too.
time I had it, I'm like, okay, I really like this stuff. And I was concerned about this, but we had, nothing but glowing responses from runners last year.
It's good stuff. It's just different.
Yeah, and then we also have a snail's pace. Will be there with all the other assorted gels that you can purchase before you do your run. I always try to suggest to people, they've been doing their runs they've been training for the last 12 weeks, 16 weeks, 20 weeks, and they know what works for their body. I would suggest you bring your own of what works for you. Don't try too many new things race day.
Smart. Smart. Gosh, I just had a question. Oh, you mentioned Snail's Pace. They're our pace group, correct?
They are. Snail's Pace Pacers, absolutely.
So, folks, if you've never run with a pacer before, it's a group of people that are assigned to go each distance in a particular time frame. So there will be a half marathon pacer for the 2-hour group, and a 2.5, probably 2:15, probably every 15 minutes, right?
They align with the Boston qualifying times.
Okay. Oh, yeah, but then there's some for the slower groups, aren't there?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. So 420. So 405. So if you look at what in order to qualify for Boston, you may be 60 years old. And so we line that up, and then we go all the way up to a 5-hour pacer.
Okay, I just learned something. I just learned something new. I didn't
realize. We align those. Let me see here. So
there's a 420 pacer for any 70-year-olds that might be out there.
Yeah, we have. So for that, once you start getting to the slower runners, Fitz, 420, 435, 450, 505, and 520. Those all mirror Boston times. And then for the half marathon, we start at 130 and 135, 140, 145, almost every 5 minutes.
Wow.
And once we get up 225, 230, then 240, 245, all the way up to 3 hours. So find one of those pacers, stick with them. And these guys, these are pros. You'll see them come in, and every year I'm just amazed when I'm at the finish line and I see the sign they're holding, and I look up and they beat it by seconds. It's a wonderful thing.
So know this, if you've never run with a pacer before, you do not have to sign up in advance. There's no fee. You will just, when you line up in your corral, you might see someone holding a flag that says 3 hours for the half or full marathon. If that's the pace you want to go, you can just introduce yourself to that person. You don't even have to say hi. But if you run along with them, they're kind of like tour guides. They'll run the certain pace to get you to point B at a particular time, but they're usually friendly, and you may form some friends. You might fall in love in your pace group. So I encourage you to join one.
Pacing for singles. Yeah, there we go.
Like match.com for running. You never know. Okay, so we've got pacers, we've got water and gel and potties. First aid on the course. Where's first aid?
Absolutely. We have 6 first aid stations on the course, as well as a huge one at the finish line. So yeah, we have you covered there as well. If you see something while you're out there, obviously anything that is bad, 911 is the thing to do. Even with our emergency stations, our medical stations on course, they're going to be, in some cases, 1.5 miles. Even a water station could be a half mile to a mile on either side of wherever you are. So, it's one of those things where 911 will be the thing if someone needs that type of advanced support. There's always so many people who will help others. Somebody trips and falls and other things, but we have stations there. Others are running out there. I hear stories all the time about doctors and nurses that are out there running and helping others. So it's a great community for that.
Yeah. Hopefully folks will need just like Band-Aids and BioFreeze, and those are things you can easily get when you pop over to one of those first aid stations. We're expecting nothing more serious than that.
Exactly. That would be great. And then listen, you have to hydrate when you're out there. You have to hydrate. Make sure you get ahead of the game. If you wait to look at Fitz's hydrating,
so easy.
If you feel thirsty, you've probably waited too long. So start hydrating early. Start taking the Gatorade, go Gators, as early as you possibly can. And Gatorade will be first for those runners out there who are brand new. As you come to a water station that has Gatorade will be first. It will be in Gatorade cups. And so a lot of people will like taking their electrolyte, their Gatorade, go Gators, and then their water after that. So yes, hydrate. Take a couple cups. Make sure you get ahead of the game on that. It's really interesting. This is just one of those things that we've seen. For some reason, overcast days, a little bit cooler, people tend to not drink as much as they think they should. And we end up having more problems on those days than a sunny day when people go, wow, it's warm, I better drink like crazy. So yeah, just make sure no matter what kind of a day it is, hydrate quickly, early, often.
Now, Gary, we've got a real great question that we need to answer from Ryan.
Before we go there, Rudy, I want to back up a little. I just had a urologist on my podcast, The Fitness Show, and great tips. If you don't want to have to pee 4 times during your marathon, cut your caffeine out now. Go a week up until the race, be caffeine free, because caffeine's a bladder irritant. So that'll usually have to make you have to go even if you don't have to go. So it's just a little inside scoop. Cut out the caffeine if you don't want to pee your whole race. Okay.
Exactly. Well, now to the question for the family members to track them. Yes. So we will have runner tracking. It's already on our website. For anybody out there who has any questions, go to our website. Weekend quick links is a tab right at the very, very top. On that is just about anything you need, including the UPS information, including the pace groups. Including still if someone needed to defer their race because of some injury or something. And we have people calling still. But yes, so on there will be a place for you to apply for, or, sign into the runner tracker. Your family members can do that. They'll put in your bib number or your name, and you'll be able to sign, I don't know, 20 runners or so. I think 30 runners you can actually put in. But yes, your family members can track you as you go around the entire course.
That's great. That's great, Gary.
Back to hydration, Gary. Are people allowed to bring their own hydration vests? And is that okay? Because I know a number of races have gone to no hydration, no vest,
I don't have a problem with that here. Okay. I know that there were some issues because of the Boston thing and stuff. Right. No, I don't have any problem with people wearing their hydration vests. I think it's some people may have the drink that they want to have in there. No, I don't have any problem with that.
Okay.
Good question.
So we've gotten from start to finish. We've covered the expo. Talked about the finish line fiesta. Again, Cinco de Mayo. So folks, if you're watching this, perhaps you do want to run in a running sombrero or carry your own inflatable hot. I think we're going to get a lot of fun stuff via Cinco de Mayo, don't you think?
We have mariachis at the finish line. They are going to be roaming around, enjoying themselves and playing for everyone. We have we know we're going to have mariachis on course as well. Our course is extremely flat except where the hills are, and and there happens to be one at mile 11. For all of you out there, there's one at mile 7. There's one at mile 11. And at mile 11 is the place where we just have cheer stations like crazy set up. It is a hill. It's about 55 foot of vertical. It's placed in totally the wrong spot. But somehow we have so much energy at that one, including mariachi. So, nice. Just power up the hill. You'll be fine.
I love it. I love it. And I'm not so sad about Joanne signing up for the 5K. Well done. I like bullying people into doing things that are good.
So now, of course, everybody will get an official time. Our timers are absolutely fantastic. Time management, Scott and Annette Muirhead do an amazing job. And let me tell you, they do such a good job. Your finish time will be online and available for you to find within seconds after you finish. And that is not an exaggeration. Also, Gary, of course, we honor top 3 in each age group, each 5-year age break. But now I know we don't do we do a brief award ceremony for our top 3 overall, and I believe our masters as well, or maybe just top 3 overall.
Just top 3 overall.
Top 3 overall. But can our speedsters top 3 in the age groups? Do we have a pickup area for them?
We do. However, if you're really a speedster in those faster times, you'll be waiting around. You'll be enjoying the music for a long time.
Okay.
Only because it takes quite a while for us to go through there. There's always those anomalies where someone
starting in the back
so
way.
everyone knows there's
Yeah.
no bib transfers. There's no letting your younger nephew wear your bib. Because it messes up all of those age groups terribly. What happens inevitably is someone, it's going to happen and it's unfortunate, but someone's going to think they came in second place. They're going to get their second place age group. We're going to find out a week later that something was messed up in there and some 19-year-old kid used grandma's bib. And that person who ended up going home with number 2 should have been number 1 and gotten that. It becomes a real problem. So there's no bib swapping. There's none of that should happen. Plus, obviously, both of you are so in tune with the seeing a bib when someone comes in, making sure you wear it on front. We don't want bandits out there. It's one of Rudy's pet peeves. But the real reason also is there's a waiver on back, and it says that you've gone through the process, you've signed the waiver. We know who you are should something happen. If you don't have a bib at all, it really becomes a problem out there on course. And if you don't have a bib at all, the bib swapping messes up other things. But if you don't have a bib at all, you're using resources that we have planned for the other runners who paid, the water, the other things. We get ask, hey, I'm not going to drink. No, we still don't want you out there. We don't know who you are. If something happens, if there happens to be an emergency and you're out there, we don't know who you are. So there's just none of that.
It's stealing.
It's stealing.
It's theft of service. It really is. The bib, the bib mess up or misappropriation can happen very innocently. We have people picking bibs up for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, or families getting together and there's 5, 6 bibs. Just make sure you've got your bib. That's all. That's simple. Make sure you've got your bib.
And it's on the front, not your back, not your side, on the front. And then also, if you are not registered to run the race, you should not be coming in any part of our course, folks. It is not acceptable in any stretch of the imagination to bring your daughter, your son onto the finish line chute with you. The finish line chute is for registered runners only. It's disrespectful to all the people who have gone the distance and earned that finish line for you to bring your boyfriend, your grandpa, your baby. And it's also dangerous for runners at the end of a distance event. They're not on strong legs, and for them to have to maneuver around your 7-year-old who's running with you is reckless and could get yourself sued. That's for sure. You do something like that and you get someone hurt, they'll go after you. So only runners, and then teach your family how to celebrate. Teach them how to be a great cheer squad, because that's an important role in life too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, listen, I remember being a runner, having a little child, thinking, gosh, it would be so awesome. I've been pushing him the whole time in my training. It would be great to carry him across. And I'm like, that's wrong for so many of the exact reasons you just mentioned. So I didn't do it.
And then nothing like a runner on wobbly legs putting their baby on their shoulders. And I just think, oh, dead baby, stop doing that. That's so reckless. So, yeah. So anyways, only runners. What would you like folks to know, Gary, going into next weekend?
Well, again, we've talked about this a little bit. I just want everyone to come out and have the best time of their life. A successful race weekend is when everyone gets to go home. That's the most important part for us. Ways to make that happen is hydration doesn't start. We just talked about that. Hydration starts on Wednesday or Thursday. It doesn't start on Saturday night or Sunday morning. So that's something. You got to know that. That's one of the do's and don'ts. Don't do anything new for that. Make sure you set a couple alarms. Make sure you give yourself plenty of time. I think that if you remember to thank the volunteers as you're going by and high five them if you can and smile, that's going to get you to the finish line sooner. They're going to have a great day. Your day's going to be even better. We've got the Best Finish Line Festival. Make sure you take part in that. Enjoy the expo. Nothing should happen fast other than your run. Just come enjoy the expo for a long time. Enjoy the festival afterwards for a long time, and really get the most out of the weekend. It should be the best weekend of your life.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Rudy.
And Gary, hasn't the event been designated? I know you mentioned something earlier, but hasn't it been designated the RRCA Roadrunner Club of America National Championship?
It is. So, couple things. We are honored to be the host city, even though the Roadrunners Club of America will have their 66th annual convention conference right here in Costa Mesa next week as well. So that's really exciting. Aligns with our race. A lot of Roadrunners Club of America coaches and runners will be there. They are just a terrific partner of ours. That's where we get our insurance as well. And those runners that are out there that are listening can become Roadrunners Club of America certified coaches. It's just a tremendous program. But yeah, so our kids run won the award for best kids run program, and the OC Marathon will be the RRCA National Marathon Championship race next week as well. So great honor for us here.
And of course, this all ties into their conference coming before the event. And I've heard a rumor that the keynote speaker is absolutely incredible for the RRCA conference. Just what I've heard.
Okay, well, wonder who that's going to be, Fitz. So, and then we've seen Brianna come in here with a couple of messages and said hi to us. We have a really unique, fun thing here at the OC Marathon. We have what's called our balloon ladies, and we have Brianna, and we have Andrea Koeman, who's on the back half, and the balloon ladies have the fun, unique job of going exactly 16 minutes per mile. They start at the very last wave, the very last runner, and then they just go the pace. And that is that's the official last participant. Even though there'll be people who fall behind them, we're there for hours and hours and hours to put medals on people who are behind these official runners. I'm there until 4:00 in the afternoon if I have to be, to put a medal on somebody. But the official finishers, or the official final participant, is our balloon ladies, and that allows tells our police and public safety out here that they can start picking up things, and we can start opening the roads. And anybody who happens to be slower than that 16 minute per mile, don't worry about it. Take your time, enjoy yourself. We may ask, if the road has to open up, you're going to have to go to the sidewalk. You may have to push the button to cross a crosswalk. But other than that, we're still going to be there for you. So it's great. Thank you to our balloon ladies.
Hey, Rudy, is there anything you would like to add?
No, I think we covered, it's been a great show, and we covered virtually everything. And of course I don't want to steal your clothes, but virtually everything we've discussed is on the website, all that information. And Fitz, this is going to replay, right? Or be available, I should say.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So definitely don't make your knee-jerk response to email OC or email Gary or Kelsey, who would have been on our show, Kelsey Petersen. She's a program director, but she has twin babies. They're toddlers now, but they both are sick. They're both vomiting. So poor Kelsey has to do that versus this. Kelsey, we miss you so much. Bless your heart, right? So there's that. Folks, if you're out there, if you're feeling a little bit nervous, turn that energy into excitement. Remember, this is something you chose to do. This is a highlight type activity. We're afraid of cancer. We're afraid of war. We are not afraid of going to go for a walk or a run with a bunch of really lovely people. So if you've got any of that kind of nerves, just wash it away. It's not doing you any good. Just harness it. Turn it into excitement. Also, we have finish lines, and they're pretty freaking awesome. Do not waste it. Do not waste our finish lines. When you come through the finish line, you've got options. You've got hands up high. You can do two hands. You can do one hand. You can do a number one finger. You can do a little heart sign. I might assign you some tasks at the start, but Yeah, make the best of the finish line. We have an incredible photography crew, and this is kind of like your Sports Illustrated photo shoot the whole way. And know that all three of us, we spend our whole year thinking about, working for, dreaming about runners. So we want to get to meet you. So if you see any of us throughout race weekend, please say hello, introduce yourself. Don't be shy. Shy around us is weird. And don't be surprised if you're greeted with a hug. And yeah, it's one big OC family. So we're excited to have everyone. It's the Hogue OC Marathon Weekend. Woohoo! 20th anniversary.
20th anniversary. Yeah, listen, it's going to be great. I can't wait to see you guys next week. I know you have a big weekend ahead of you, but I just can't wait to see you guys. And I can't wait to have this whole thing take off. It's so exciting for us. We've been doing it for a year, planning it for a year. And to see it all come together, we are so excited.
Expertly conducted by you. So it is it's top down, Gary. And we all have faith in you because you've proven it time and time again. You can put on one hell of a show. And yeah, it's going to be fantastic. I hope you get to. Huh?
Yeah, listen, I said, we'll see you guys soon. And, again, you mentioned the photography out there. You guys are going to get the best pictures. Make sure you take pictures with Fitz and Rudy at the finish line. Right. Post those things. We want to see all of you in our socials after this is done too. So we can't wait.
Yeah, our hashtag is Run the OC. You can also use hashtag OC Marathon. Make sure you're following us at OC Marathon on Facebook and Instagram. I'm Fitzness. You can follow me. Rudy is somewhere on Facebook. That's Rudy Novotny on Facebook.
Somewhere on Facebook. Nice.
Somewhere else.
Nice. Yeah, and we like to like your stuff. So tag us, and we'll be your best friend forever. All right, I'm kicking you guys out.
All right.
See you soon.
See you guys. Can't wait. Next